an edible buffet that it makes sense. With all the starving people in the world, it's a great initiative, and most importantly, it is the second competition that we have that all of you own. Nobody else owns it. You own it. You dictate the change. You manage the change. You implement the change. And so I think that's a great thing that came out of this board meeting here. Again, I'd like to thank the board of directors, the Continental directors, all of you that have been involved over the last 4 years for your support, for your positive feedback, for your criticism to help us develop projects in a different way or look at them in a different way. Mr. President, for all of your support, and ultimately the American Culinary Federation for providing enormous assets to give me the ability and opportunity to travel on your behalf. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the Congress.
Thank you, Mr. Pitts. There will be a further opportunity during the interactive judging workshop in the afternoon session on Wednesday, where Mr. Pitts may be able to take some additional questions about the points raised on the floor this morning. Thank you, Mr. President.
Andy, did you also mention that we cancel the workshop today?
There was a culinary guideline workshop that we seem to have a double up on topics, sir. So we will actually take out the workshop culinary guideline at 3 o'clock today, and that will be combined with the interactive judging workshop tomorrow.
Okay. First of all, Raymond, thank you very much. You and your committee are doing an outstanding job. Anybody of the committee in the audience, because I do like to recognize you. These are all accomplished chefs who are who donate their time and energies and their experience, and oftentimes it's not a thankful job, because you can't do it the way everybody likes to have it done. So in that particular case, we have to transcend international boundaries and cultures and traditions. And I think the fact that this committee very seriously is looking to the future, and I don't know how many of you have been experiencing this so-called edible buffet. This is a fantastic way to go. Why? We were, all of us, were criticized often by the media when you put on a food show and all that cold food goes in the garbage because, it sits out there and you really cannot serve it to anybody. So they found a way how to do that. And yes, it's a little bit of work, it's a little bit more organization, but it really solves the problem, and it puts us into a new phase of culinary competition, and clearly a phase that is much more closely aligned to what chefs do each and every day. Cook food, serve it to a customer. So I think this is just a fantastic way to go, and I congratulate those, Otto and you and your team that have really created that event, and the Culinary Committee of seeing that it is of great value, and I look forward to having these type of competitions more streamlined towards the edible buffet concept. So thank you very much, Raymond, you and your committee. We are now getting to the trainer workshop. I'm going to ask Michael Basquet to come up here. Michael, former educational director of the American Culinary Federation, was asked to work with our sponsor, Custom Culinary, to implement the Train the Trainer program. Now, what he had to do, Michael, come up here. What Michael had to do is not just make, call chefs up and call countries up and get them together. He sometimes had to do travel arrangements and hotel reservations and what have you. Basically, he had to do anything and everything that it took to get the job done. And today, I'm very proud and thank Michael and all the participating countries that either have sent a chef or have received a chef for having made this program a success. The pilot program, sponsored by Custom Culinary. And is there anybody here for Custom? Yes, Michael Miner is over here. Michael, thank you very much for that wonderful sponsorship. It's a great program. It's grassroots effort, and it's not going to die. So, Michael, you and Custom Culinary, thank you very, very much. And having said that, now I like to introduce to you Mike Pasquette.
Thank you, Chef. Good morning. Thanks to the inspiration of the WACS Board and their dedication to education and training, and to the generosity of Custom Culinary, we were able to launch the WACS Train-a-Trainer program late 2007 and just concluded it a few weeks ago. Today, I'm just going to give a brief report on our successes. Tomorrow afternoon, I'll give a more detailed workshop on how you can get involved. So please come tomorrow if you're interested in getting involved in the WACS Train-a-Trainer program as we continue after the Congress. The mission for the pilot program was to arrange for 6 visits where expert chefs from one country would travel to another for a 2 to 3 week training and education period to share their knowledge and their passion for food, with a concentration on the fundamentals of cooking and baking. That's what cooking is all about, the fundamentals. Once we learn those, then we can do much, much more. The mission: to spread the news about WACS, the Global Chefs Society, its presence as a global chefs organization that is dedicated to quality cuisine and education. And I think we've begun to do that through the Train-a-Trainer program. Our goal: to educate and train culinarians. That's who we are, and that's who the junior chefs of tomorrow are. Around the world for the betterment of fine food everywhere. Pretty lofty goal, wouldn't you say? Our early success, once the program was announced, we had tremendous response from countries represented here today. We had 8 countries that put their hat in the ring right away. Among them, India, Chile, the Republic of Korea, Serbia, New Zealand, Myanmar, Portugal, and the Bahamas. Now, as I said, my first couple of slides, we were restricted to 6 in the pilot program, but it was nice to see such a great response right away, which shows us that there is such a great need for this type of program. Our first visit, Chef Paul Casper, a pastry chef from the U.S., went to Myanmar from the 5th of March through the 21st of March and performed baking and pastry lessons for cooks, pastry cooks, and apprentices at the Strand Hotel in Yangon, under the direction of the executive chef Sandro Zimmerman, with the support of the chef Oliver Esser Sotet, the driving force of the Myanmar Chefs Association. And what a great time Chef Casper had in Myanmar. The hospitality was enormous. These are images and memories for Chef Casper, and hopefully for those workers in Myanmar that will last a lifetime. Here is just a picture of some of the pastry cooks at the Strand Hotel who partook of the training sessions that Paul Casper performed. These 4 here represent at the Strand Hotel's cooking or pastry brigade, and right away, immediately in those few weeks, started to prepare desserts and candies and confections for the guests of the hotel, and they got immediate response. That, I think, is the greatest thing about education, where you can learn something and put it to action right away. And they were very excited to do that. And the guests were very excited to be able to taste those fine confections as well. Our second visit, Chef Vito Kumar from India, went to Portugal from the 24th of March through the 5th of April and performed coastal Indian cuisine demonstrations and workshops for students, cooks, chefs, and a general public audience, under the directions of Chef Fausto Araldi, the president of the Asociación de Cocineros Profesionales de Portugal. How'd I do?